Hello everyone, it is Matty Gaming HD here, back with another video, and this is regarding the open positions for CRC 2016, because this year I have done a bit, as I've said many times in previous videos, I have done way too much on CRC this year, and it's kind of taken over my life a little bit, as you've seen, it's affected my YouTube channel. It's affected my social life as well, and that needs to change for next year. So what I'm doing is I'm going to make this video to be able to say what positions are needed to be filled. So I do already have a couple of positions filled. I have iFoz F1, who will be doing the regular updating of the site next year. So after each race, that will be helpful because I don't then have to write all the race reports and everything after each race. So he'll be doing the regular updating of the site next year, and it's going to be a new website that will be launched on the week of the season opener. And I also believe he's going to be doing the Twitter feeds for most races now as well. So those are two positions I already have filled. Now, there are quite a lot of positions. I'm not expecting all of these positions to be filled, but I'm hoping that at least half of them can be filled. That's what I'm hoping. The first thing, this might only apply for a couple of races next year, but it might apply for more, is a backup host. I mean, I've got James Casey doing it, but the thing is, his PC is not really the best for running R Factor 2. No offense to him, but the streams can be quite laggy. I mean, if it was for a practice session, then that'd be fine. But for and even for qualifying and a support race, it'd be fine. But if it was for an actual race, then it might be a bit of a problem. The reason for this is there are a couple of races on the current 2016 schedule that might be on whilst I'm on holiday, and there's not really another date I can reschedule them to. So yeah, I mean, what would be good is if someone who can run R Factor 2 and has decent streaming capabilities, and can run it to at least decent streaming capabilities to be able to run the race. And also, I'd also be, if they had Skype, then I'd be able to still commentate as well. But for that, I do need a backup host that can do all this. Maybe James can host the game on his computer. Maybe someone can join who has decent streaming abilities, can join the game and stream. But even for that, I'm still going to need someone as a backup host. And that is it regarding backup hosts. Next bit is highlights video creators. It might be one person, might be three people. I suggest that it would be three people, because the highlights videos, I mean, this has been one of CRC's big losses this year. The loss of the highlights videos. It has clearly affected CRC's marketing, because now CRC is relying on the stream highlights and the stream, which doesn't always catch everything. When before, the highlights videos really captured everything in the race. But the thing is, they're just, I mean, I did try to bring them back earlier in the year. I know I went on about, I'm going to link the earlier video of what's needed for the highlights videos that I did a couple of months ago. So what is going to be the details? But as I said, I tried to do it, and then it was just too much work. The next thing that's needed is the stewarding. I mean, for the past few races, I have been doing the stewarding. The reason for that is because when I ask lots of other people to do the stewarding, it usually takes them a couple of days to read their messages and then actually do the investigations, or maybe even more. which is really stressful when it comes to back-to-back races. So what I'm going to need is a group of stewards that will be willing to like respond like immediately after the race and do the investigations like soon after the race. So I can maybe have the penalties up within a day of the race happening. And the next bit, I mean, I would be willing to do this, but it would be helpful if someone else could do this. The KSR Race Edit developer. I mean, I've been doing them. I'm not sure, but people may be saying why I'm asking other people to do it, because I feel quite pleased with how they've gone. But if I could have someone who could develop them in like the style that I did, then it would be very helpful. And then I could also have it all as a surprise because it's boring when I see the first video because I've been the one developing it. But then it can be a real surprise, like with the FOM race that support the video is going to be like. And this also brings me on to the next bit, the media department. And this is more like video developing, and this is regarding, I think, this year, CRC did lack, and for the past few years, it's kind of lacked, like, pre-season and post-season content, and in between the race, but I don't have the time to produce them, so what I'd like is to see if someone would be willing to, like, make some, like, pre-season and post-season content, maybe, like, a rundown of the grid, maybe, like, testing roundups and stuff like that. Because I don't really think I'm going to live stream testing next year. Because it's just not going to get any views. There's not really any point. I might only stream it for like testing purposes if I do any like testing for like streaming. So that's the media department. Now like the next bit is the screenshot taker. And the reason for this is because I'd like to have like like galleries like at the end of each season, like the end after each race, to have like a gallery from each race on the CRC site. This is not really an essential role, but it would be good. The next bit, I know this is weird, but saying this, but race director. Of course, I host the races regularly. What I'm talking about is someone who decides if an incident is like big enough for a safety car to be deployed, like when a red flag is put in place. And because, I mean, I don't like being biased, but like if there's a safety car and a driver I want to win is in second, or an incident that's worthy of a safety car, it's just natural in your instincts to just, because then that would make you more want to bring the safety car out and just make you naturally try to think of a reason to do it. And then the other way around. So I think it would be better if there was someone else who probably isn't even like racing or doesn't even have a driver to like look for and stuff like that to decide when the safety car is deployed. And the final bit is the marketing team. I mean, regarding the marketing, the thing about that is, I mean, CRC I think is lacking a bit of promotion before each race. So maybe there could be like more promotions like on the CRC Twitter, CRC Facebook and everything that someone could do. So that is all the positions as I said before, I'm not expecting all of those to be filled in. But in fact, even any one of them being filled in, I would be grateful for. But thank you very much for taking your time to watch this. And in advance, if you're willing to help, thank you. We'll see you for my next video. Goodbye.